What is up, you guys? In today's video, we're gonna go over the dreaded M word and how I go about my collection in my mite prevention and why in the 3 years of having snakes, I have not had mites yet. Knock on wood. There's no wood in here. I just jinxed myself. Great. But yeah, stay tuned. Alright guys, so first things first, glasses. Yeah, I ripped my contact, my last one. I don't have the new ones in yet, so I have to wear these things until they come in so I can actually see. But yeah, to the topic, mite prevention. So like I said, I have not had them yet, thankfully, because I feel like I've had pretty good protocol about quarantining and prevention. I'm going to show you guys my steps, what I do, and why I think my method works pretty well. I mean, and has worked pretty well. I mean, I haven't had them yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't ever happen. I know everybody says if you haven't gotten them, you will get them, but let's just hope I don't ever have to deal with it. But yeah, here are my methods for mite prevention. All right, guys. First things first. You should have a quarantine rack for any new snakes that come into your collection. My quarantine rack is actually in my laundry room, because this is, you know, a very isolated area. I don't typically come in here unless I'm doing laundry, and it's very far away from my main collection and my collection downstairs. So if there are any kind of issues, it's isolated in here. The door's always closed. The temperatures, you know, don't fluctuate. It's a solid spot for it. Obviously, no snakes in here right now. You know, I do have 3 new snakes coming in probably this coming week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, first things first. Quarantine rack is a must. All right, and second, I keep all of my snakes on paper towel when I first get them. Usually I go with these bins right here. I think they're like the FB8 size. I do have some FB5 size in case I get some smaller size snakes. But I mean, most snakes I'm buying are, you know, 100-ish, 20, 150-ish grams, around that size. I don't typically get anything much bigger than that. But yeah, keep them all on paper. That way you can see everything that's going on, make sure they're pooping good, make sure everything's, you know, nice and clean and sanitary. I usually put like a water bowl right in there. But yeah, that's it for housing. Now let's get to how I go about the actual prevention for mites and what I use. All right, so prevention wise, what I do is I use Provenamite. I've heard it called Provenamite. It's spelled Proventamite. I've heard it called Preventamite. I say both sometimes, actually, I forget it's not Provent, but this stuff has worked great. And I'm gonna show you the steps I go through with it. I kind of do a little bit of, like, I guess you could call it a little bit of overkill, slightly, maybe a little bit, but hey, it works. I'll do whatever it takes to not get mites in this damn collection, you guys. All right, so first things first, you wanna shake this up. It's that way, this way, that way, upside down. Can't really get a focus on it. Give it a good shake. I've already shaken it up quite a bit. But every time, now I'm saying this truthfully, every time I, you know, change the bedding, I don't have a lot left. I'm not gonna remake a bunch of new bedding, but I will give the bedding a quick little spray with the Provenamite. Let it sit, because it's, you know, nice and smoky in there now. And I also make sure I do this in a very open room. Right now I'm upstairs away from any of my snakes. I don't wanna, you know, do it in the snake room and then have this cloud of chemicals in there lingering, because it's a very small enclosed room. It's probably not a good idea to spray it in there. So I would even go as much as to say is probably do it outside, maybe, you know, in a very well ventilated area so that you're not breathing it in too. You know, I shoot it about 12 inches above from where it is. So once the smoke starts, you know, lingering away, I just go in, obviously with the gloved hand, and I start turning it around. Usually there is way more cocoa chip in here, but like I said, I'm not gonna make a whole new block of this because I just changed the cocoa a couple weeks ago. I try to change my cocoa once every month, actually. You know, people are probably gonna say it's a little bit overkill, but I like a clean, fresh smelling, you know, tub. And that's the best way to do it. So this is now got the Provenamite in it. It's ready to go, you know, and I don't just immediately throw it into the tub as soon as I spray it. What I will actually do is I'll spray it like this 2 days before I put it into the tub. I'll let it sit outside of the room. You know, usually I'll stick it in my empty bedroom or downstairs somewhere, you know, away from any other animals. I'll let it sit. That way, you know, I know all the chemicals are settled, it's good to go. And then I will put it into the tubs and we're good to go. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit, where some might call it overkill, where I'll actually take the Prevenamite again. I'll take a paper towel. This isn't the one I'm gonna use, you know, in this actual tub, but I'll spray it a couple times, a couple sprays, and then I'll just go in and just kind of wipe down the tub with it. Spread it along the tub. And this is what I do, especially when I'm like first starting to quarantine, because I'm not putting the cocoa fiber in there because I want to make sure, you know, everything's nice and clean. So I'll put it around the lid, all around, inside, all that. And like I said, with the cocoa fiber, same thing, same process. I will let this sit out for a couple days. So I will do this before I know a snake is coming in. Spray the towel, wipe it on it. It's good to go. And then I'll put a fresh towel in there. Now you gotta remember, you do not want to put a water ball in here right away. That is like, they tell you, do not put water in here when you're using this. So that's why I do it a couple days. That way it's already settled and I can put the water bowl in there. When they come in, I don't have to worry about spraying it, not having a water bowl. You know, they come in, they're probably dehydrated, stressed, they want water. Now, this last step is an even extra added precaution. I think it's important because it kind of, in a way, helps hydrate them to a certain extent. But yeah, this is actually the first thing I do. So I should have put this at the beginning of the video, but whatever. All right, guys, so one of the first things, or actually technically this is the first thing I do when I get a new snake in, is I put some water. It's warm water, you know. Obviously, I don't have to worry about it getting the temperature perfectly right now for this video. A snake is not going in here, but put some water in there, fill it up, nice and high. This is taking forever. But I want to get it, you know, deep enough to where it covers a good chunk of the snake's body, but not super deep to where like the snake is swimming and stressed out in it. So right about there. Yeah, about a couple inches is where I go for it. And then what I'll do is I'll take a couple drops of Dawn dish soap and just put 1, 2, there we go. There we go. And right here, you know, I'll just swish it around, get it soapy, and then I'll put the snake in there and I'll let it soak in there for about 20-ish minutes, you know, 15, 20 minutes. And then after that, take it out, kind of wipe it down. What this is gonna do, it's gonna drown out any of the live mites. Now, no, it's not gonna kill any of the mites' eggs, which is why I go the route of Prevenamite, because when those eggs hatch, then they're in the tub with the Prevenamite. So it's, you know, double whammy. This is gonna get rid of any, you know, live ones on there. It's gonna drain them out. They're gonna get soapy. They're not gonna be able to get back on the snake. Good to go there. And then the Prevenamite later on in the tub is just gonna keep the mites from coming back on that poor snake. And one of the last things, now I have not had to do this yet because I have not had the issue yet, but I do have Frontline flea and tick spray for dogs and cats. Now, the point of that is if all these methods that I'm doing don't work and there's still mites, I will then take that spray, spray it on the hand with a glove, obviously, let the snake run through the hands, get it all over it, put it in a separate tub with no substrate, no water bowl, none of that. Let it dry off, and that should be the last resort for me personally if I find mites in my collection. But like I said, knock on wood, haven't had to do that yet, but it is downstairs, it is ready to go in case those little bastards come into this room. All right, guys, well, that's all for this video. Just want to give you, you know, a little quick how-to on my methods for mite prevention. Like I said in other videos, my methods, my opinions are not the end-all be-all. You know, let me know, what do you use for mite prevention? You know, do you agree with my methods? Do you think it's overkill? Is there things I can add to make it even better? But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is what I do and it's worked pretty damn well so far. Now, I am gonna say, I also buy from trusted breeders and people that I know. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying, oh, if you're buying a snake from like Justin or Miguel or anybody, you don't gotta quarantine. I quarantine every snake because you never know what happens. You could get mites through shipping. Those snakes could be in boxes stacked up at UP or FedEx. The mites get out of one other box, get into your box. You're better safe than sorry. It's a precautionary thing. The last thing you want to deal with is mites. That's why I think I have not had them, because I am OCD about my mite prevention. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Until then, take it easy.